Okay, Olokodana. Okay, I was
Right.
going to confirm
It
if
has a melody to it.
right. So talk to us now. Why is this month of Ramadan so important to Muslims?
But first of all, I think it's a pillar in Islam. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam. So it's on that. It's a compulsory act enjoined on by all Muslims, by Almighty Allah. That and the basis for this can be found in the Quran 2 verse 183, which is like the anchor, which is like the prescription that fasting is prescribed for us. Is made compulsory for all Muslims, except if you are ill, aged, and all of that. So the significance in itself is a command by Allah, and it's also in fulfillment of your faith as a Muslim. So it's really, really very, very important. Indeed, it's one of, you can't separate it from Islam. It's one of the pillars of Islam.
Now, how then do people prepare for a time such as this? Because you see so much going into it, and you hear it's as if everything has to just come into a time such as this.
Well, as human beings, I think, and it's also maybe a attitude or culture of Africans. We seem to just rush into things. I think Ramadan should have started before now, because basically for some of people that have missed their fast, we are supposed to have made up your fast before now. And then so it presupposes that you should have a plan. Going into it, what are you going to achieve that you did not achieve last year? Because basically, primarily, you are meant to have this God consciousness, as you said, self-restraint, introspection, being good to others, charity. So how are you going to carry out those acts?
It should be part of your daily life, right?
Yes, it should. Which is why, there's this concept of seasonal Muslims. You seem to think that everybody just comes out of the woodwork in Ramadan, right? But really, those acts are things that we should do on a daily basis as much as you can. It's just that the month being a command and being compulsory seems to put a spotlight and focus on that month. It's something that we should plan for. It's something that we should prepare for. It's something that we should expect, because in it are very many rewards, and it's a time of self-cleansing, really. So we should look forward to it. We should plan for it. Everybody is enjoying to do that, so that it doesn't happen on you. You actually are expecting it, as we expect something good from our Lord. That's the way that's the attitude we should take towards Ramadan.
So what then are the things to avoid at a time such as this?
Okay, I mean, there are things that break your fast, there are things that don't break your fast. There's a lot of misconception in between.
Right.
Basically, some of the things that are very obvious, the things that you're supposed to abstain from, which is food, drink, intimacy, from dusk to dawn. But there are also subtle things that we should watch out for.
Right.
I like to use the acronym FASTING itself to make us in tune to what we're doing. So you say the F is for fasting, not feasting. Okay. Right? You should also remember that it's not that, okay, you've starved yourself for this period and therefore all the food you've missed, you want to consume it in that space of time. No, the A is for anger management, really. We should control ourselves, because again, primarily we're supposed to be self-restraint, isn't it? The period is supposed to make you come up better. So anger management is important, and in these times of a lot of rancor up and down, you need to manage our anger, effectively. And the S is for, spirituality. So we're meant to move as close to God as possible through praying, through fasting in itself, through acts of charity, through helping people. Lying, backbiting, subtle things like things where you should not be, things shared in this age of information. We should watch what we share if it's not verified, because that will count as a lie if it is a lie, and then you are making more mischief. So you're supposed to watch out for all of those things. T, fast. So the T is for us to be thankful. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what you don't have. Understand that while you have so much, other people have so little, and understand and empathize with them. So that's FAST. Yeah. And then the I is for introspection. We should need to, go into your own shell and think about how are you of service to humanity? How and why are you here? we in Islam, the Muslim tradition says that you are primarily here to worship God, but in worshiping God, you're also supposed to take care of people, environment, your siblings, those who you know, those who do not know. You know, so introspection. So we need to introspect, and we can see this from what you would probably be seeing in the next 29 or 30 days. Recitation of the Quran, going to lectures, listening to explanations, reading of the Quran, if the prayers that we have at night, the Yorubas call it Ashamu, the Taraweeh as we call it in Arabic. And then, so those are things that help you, you know, introspect and, you know, sit within yourself and just contemplate on why you're here and what is going on in you and how can it be of benefit to humanity. So that's the FASTI.
Yeah.
And then the N is for neighborliness.
Right.
We don't exist in a vacuum. The Muslim community and the non-Muslim community are together. Whether your neighbor is a Muslim, a non-Muslim, or whatever he is, you are responsible for his care. He is responsible for your care. This is how we grew up. Looking out for each other is important. It's something that we need to bring back. It's not a fad. Okay, so it's something that we should concentrate on in this period and understand that, in fact, the Prophet, peace be upon him, has said that he was even afraid that God will make being good to your neighbor something that is compulsory. That's how serious it is. You know, so have they eaten? You know, there's something in Islam where if you go, for instance, to buy goodies, you should take care not to expose it too much to your neighbor so that he doesn't now feel envious of what it is that you're bringing. If he does see it, then make plans to share with him. Right? And then, you know, the last thing is for the G is for gratitude. Right. You know, being grateful is something that is really, really wanting. Everybody seems to want more, but don't realize that whatever it is that God has blessed you with, contentment is the greatest and ultimate. It's something that you can't teach. It's something that it's a prayer we'll all have for our kids, for everybody to be content with what you have and be grateful. When you are grateful, your being is opened up to whether it is sufferings or need areas or gaps which you can fulfill, so that you are thankful for what you have, you are grateful for what you have, and then you are able to help others as well. And
I think that even at a time like this where we have the pandemic, it has taught us a lot of things where you need to understand being grateful and looking inwards.
Exactly.
And so that brings me to the next question, what the celebration will be like at this time, knowing that we're trying to observe the protocols,
of COVID.
Pharmaceutical protocols at this time as well.
So I think you know, last year we had the pandemic at its peak. Yes. So what that taught us was that it gave a personal touch to being in fasting period, even more personal. You know, so we should try as much as possible. Gatherings, the protocols, I'm sure the Lagos State government will come up with what we need to know with regards to congregation. Congregation should be limited as much as possible. The wearing of masks, social distancing, as much as we can. The pandemic is still with us. We need to still observe those protocols to the best of our ability within, you know, the fasting period. So the celebration, I suspect, would be low-key, but I think it will be meaningful.
But then quickly, one last message at a time such as this, when you see what is going on. You mentioned rancor, insecurity, so many things happening in the society. What would be your message to the people as briefly and quickly as possible?
I think when you think about the earth is round, right? It is round for a reason. What goes around comes around. We all exist in this planet, and the only way for it to last is for us to take care of it and take care of each other. So I think my message will be, the lessons of Ramadan come to teach us to be God conscious. Right. So let's imbibe all those qualities, because we share in the attributes of God in being merciful to other people, being of help, being of service. And, you know, I think the message of Islam will be one of service to humanity.
All right.
And I hope we can keep that within our purview from now and beyond Ramadan.
Absolutely. Suleiman Dainde, former Executive Secretary, Movement for Islamic Awareness and Culture, and the current Secretary, Board of Trustees, Halal Standards Development Trust. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.